We have attempts ongoing right now to restrict even further gun ownership. And they're going to do it. They're going to do it through limiting your the availability of ammunition, I'll tell you right now. Go online and look. The other day I bought a tactical shotgun, a modified Remington 870 pump. And then I went online trying to get the ammunition, and it was all out of stock. We have an administration that takes majority rules. And if you have 50% plus one, you can make all the rules you want, and you don't have to worry about a constitution. You don't have to worry about the laws in place. You just do it. And we're going to stop that.
That's right.
Alexander Hamilton said it best when he said, if the government oversteps its bounds, the people who created it must take measures.
That's right.
And I will tell you, on my watch and on your watch, I can tell it in your eyes, they will not trample on the graves of my father and his father and all that came before us. For a president on foreign soil to criticize this nation is repulsive. Forcing doctors to perform medical procedures against their beliefs is abhorrent. But trampling on the Constitution is a total disgrace. The U.S. Constitution, let me give you a quote, it is not tyrantry we desire. It is just limited federal government.
That's right. State sovereignty.
That is from Alexander Hamilton, one of those founders. I mentioned the three entities. And I mentioned the fact it may be a surprise to some, but let's keep in mind that we are a representative democracy and a republic, not a democracy as such. The Oxford Dictionary gives you a definition of what a republic is, and that's what we are. It's a state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives. I want to talk a little bit about the Bill of Rights, because I've been building up to this, because it really, to me, you've got to understand that when the Bill of Rights was created as an addendum, the very first addendum, 10 amendments at once, it was to reassure the people that they had rights. You see, the founding fathers said we don't have to put that in the Constitution because it's self-evident, and they used that term. There are those that said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have a series of amendments to this Constitution that limit the federal government. And that's exactly what these amendments were intended to do, to limit the federal government. Listen carefully to Article 1. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Congress, you see, it was directed toward the federal government. It does not limit us, it limits them. Yet today, we can't even pray in schools.
That's right.
That's right.
The Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free nation, the right of the people, remember, it's the people, to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, looking at this crowd, there may be a few like me that it probably doesn't apply to, but in many cases it does. The Constitution of this state says there are three types of militia. And this is what people don't understand. You have the National Guard, which is an organized militia. You have a second group called the State Guard. In some states, that is called a militia. Here, it's called a State Guard. But there's a third militia, clearly identified in our Constitution. That is the unorganized militia. Every male, able-bodied male in the state, 18 to 45, is automatically a member of the militia. So when you read the militia clause, understand we are arming our militia. Amendments 9 and 10 somewhat go together in that Amendment 9 of the Constitution, certain rights shall not be construed to deny others. In other words, that list is identified in our Constitution, not the only list of rights. Some are obvious. But it's Amendment 10 that I really want to talk about.
All right.
The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution or prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Now, how do we have a federal government that tells you where you can travel, tells you all types of restrictions on the things that you can do? They have no right. There's nothing in the Constitution about it. What's not in the Constitution? Think about it. The word education is not used in the Constitution, and yet the federal government has literally taken over education. They've taken over so many facets of life we take it for granted. James Madison warned us. I believe there are more instances of the abridgment of freedoms of the people by gradual and silent encroachment of those powers than by violent and sudden upsurges. And that's what has happened, a little over time. The way this happens is that, first of all, states are enticed to take federal money. It's our money to begin with.
Right on.
That's right.
And then with that money, then they come accustomed to it, and now they come back and say, well, if you want more, here are the rules. That's exactly what's happening with this bailout money we have now. And then the final step comes, when then they dictate, because now you're hooked. And they say if you wanted more federal funds for roads, 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, or whatever they want to put in place. Show me one thing in the Constitution that gives them that authority. There is no such authority. As I mentioned, I've been told that my time is running out, so I want to end with this. I want you to understand again that what our recourses are, and I'll skip to that. First of all, we need to consider a constitutional convention. One, to readdress all the things that have been put out of context and put in dispute. It is one that can be done two ways, through the Congress and or by the individual states, and demand. Another is the 10th Amendment movement. 33 state legislatures are already addressing that. Ours is. I think A.G. Phillips already put something up for that. That says we're going to reaffirm our rights as a sovereign state.
Yes.
Under the 10th Amendment.
All right. Don't forget that, Jack.
The next thing we need to do is permanent.
Don't forget that.
We need to eliminate the religious privileges that you see, the separate special types of programs only for congressmen, and the lifetime payroll. You're right. We need to force a balanced budget. We're forced to every month. We need to mandate the time, and Steve talked about this too, to read the bills before they pass.
That's a good idea. Yep.
Yeah.
I like concept. Yeah. Imagine that.
And we also need our religious community to stand up and be counted.
That's right.
I realize it's a neat, shiny, hairy earth, but right now I'd like to have a few King Davids on my side.
There you go.
You as individuals can be involved by joining the Heritage Foundation, the American Legion, the VFW, and many other organizations here locally to make a difference. You know, Thomas Jefferson said, we in America do not have government by the majority, we have government by the majority who participate. And I know we're going to all leave here and be very participatory citizens, because to do less, this nation has no chance. If we join together and stay joined together as a team, we can make a difference, and this great nation will be even better than it was before.
Yes.
Those of you that have not taken the time to sign up with one of the many sheets going around here to get involved, let me give you something real simple. It's my name, Evans Spiceland, all one word, at gmail.com. And I'll get you in touch with who you want to get in touch with. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless America. Yeah.